Team Aster will proceed on the upper side of things. I don't have to ask you for what you think this game is going to actually transpire because we have Baboka Earth Spirit. Come on. Without any just to see this. This right here, this is a treat. This is just a treat. And he has a pretty sick set as well, so we'll love to see it coming out of the man here. I am wondering now what Dandelion... I mean, they had to have known that it's very likely Baboka goes for this. He often does when he's not allowed to play his Tiny. So I wonder what's going to be their early game plan and exactly where they want to fight, because this is not the type of game they'll be allowed to sit back and just try hyper farm on Summer to get him into this position where he can do his... I mean, Summer aka Shylock, we've seen him in the past carry unwinnable games on the Terrorblade before, but it certainly needs to be the rest of his lineup enabling him to make that happen in this game.
Like, the most important part for him is to... This is the usual race with the Terrorblade in like a game where he's the favorable carry matchup but unfavored in like the rest of the lineups, is that you need to get to Skadi before the enemy team's coming to hit your high ground. That's going to be the way to do it. And after that, Aster actually has very little in the way of jump and burst to take you down. So once you get to the Skadi, you should be decent unless the rest of your team also got hammered. And it is possible now. The drawback of taking Marcy Mars core is that they're very brawly, and if you fall behind, they have no good ways back into the game.
Yep. We'll see what their options are going to be. They do start a small skirmish here in the river to force Aster away from this bounty rune slot, and it'll just be a 2-2 trade though. Nothing miraculous or spectacular happening for them. Let's talk about this lane a little bit, because it does feel like this is where they need to make magic happen. Zeus Marcy lane with the Marcy core and the Zeus supplying damage from the back end. How do we like the matchup into the Bristleback Dazzle? I mean, we're playing into Uber Sustain, but the Uber Sustain doesn't start for a little bit. It starts out with Major Harass instead, coming out from PICU. So do they have what it takes to deal with this Harass from the early game Dazzle?
So both of these heroes have ways to immediately break the line of sight with the Dazzle, so break the stacking of the Poison Touch, which is the most important part. And then they definitely do have the damage advantage at the start here as well. So yeah, this lane should be going decent for a while, and Monet might be under a bit of pressure as why are we tipping?
That's what I was trying to figure out, like what happens? I mean, okay, looking at what probably happened, probably there was a link into an immediate spear, and then everyone just like, oh, this lane sucks. Neither of us can actually do anything, can we? We just trade farm.
Is that not the expected scenario? Like, that's one of the reasons that you move the Mars to mid.
Yep.
See, I was kind of thinking that maybe, just maybe, that would be an offlane Zeus then, which would have been hilarious. I like the core Marcy more, of course, but...
You say this, but we've seen offlane Zeus in China. It's happened.
Oh, you have?
Yeah. It was in Div 2, I think. I think it was CDC. The team that had that amazing Brewmaster. Speaking of this lane here that has the Dazzle and the Marcy in it, they're about to bring down this Dazzle. And the first blood will be claimed by Tianming with the damage. However, Monet trying to run back onto Beyond with the Quill Sprays, looking for the double. One more stack onto Tianming, but Tianming just gets level 2. So we can activate the Heavenly Jump and escape this pressure. Came very close, Monet. Thinking about it now. Tianming? He's baiting. He knows that Monet won't be able to 100% kill him before he gets back to the tower, but still, what a big risk to be taking. And now they get the toss back onto Monet with the dispos. Monet very, very low, but Beyond, he just respawned, and he's about to lose his life again. Forced to pop the magic wand just underneath the tower. That was so close. He just came back to this lane. Look up his HP right now, kids.
Yeah, no salve sharing, no support who can bring you anything back. Like, Beyond is shut out suddenly, and this is a problem. I did not think the lane would turn this early, and now they're just diving. They're gonna dive. Yeah. Yep.
No reason
not to. At least Monet is running out of mana.
He does have a mango though. If things do get dire, he does decide to pop it. But with the point into the Bristleback passive, once he hits level 4, he can get the second point into this. This change that they made with the percentage reductions has been very, very big, and makes this hero so much more tankier than he used to be. And they're utilizing this to just grief this lane. Beyond can't get much accomplished. He's spending his rebounds going backwards, which is fine if you're playing a support Marcy, but not as a core role in this game.
Absolutely not. I mean, and that was the problem, right? He calculated wrong on the very first, or I should say on the second kill, like the kill that started all of this off, and did not actually have a rebound to get out again after he got the dazzle. And yeah, I mean, he's scrambling back, but this bristleback is now firmly established. And as you said, once that level 4 comes in, I don't think they actually have the damage to take him down anymore.
Yep. Well, since this lane is not going that well for them, the hope is going to have to come from elsewhere. So let us take a look at Summer, who is currently CS leader on the map, practically with XXX just basically in the same milieu. They're just trading waves in between themselves. This Terrorblade, you were mentioning that he needs to be able to get to that Scar ASAP in this game. What does he need to do in the early mid game? And do you think he's going to be playing more joining the fight, or does his team just have to 100% make space for him? He might die here first, though. Is he in danger? XXX about to get back a point into the Thunderclap in about 7 seconds, but they turn around with the Metamorphosis, and instead it's XXX that's in danger. Summer trying to walk him down, but they do not have the chase potential underneath the tier 1 tower, and they will allow him to escape. Still, though, they force out this meta in the lane. You feeling fine with this?
Yeah, like the evasion's certainly doing work for the Brewmaster here as well. And yeah, I mean, I'd like to see Summer join on a couple of the top lane.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's something. This time around, though, you know, earlier we were laughing in the first games or first series about like Clockwork realizing, oh guys, we messed up, be cleaner on the initiation. Did you see how quickly Beyond ran away after getting that kill? He's like, alright, I'm done. I don't want to be here anymore.
I have learned. Yeah. I mean, teams learning in a game and in a series is actually a good indication of how much on top of the game they are at that particular moment as SGA falls in the bottom lane. Like, because no pro player, like, people seem to think that, oh, pro players know everything right from the start of every single game, and that is just not true. Like, if you observe, you can see them learning and realizing stuff about the particular matchups while they're doing it. Okay, I did not expect that one. Maybe I should not have glossed over the fact that Marset got 6.
I got you, Homko. We caught it.
You so fast. Good. Tell me what happened, Snare. Enlighten me.
So Zeus came in right after the dying in the top lane, and he realizes that wait a sec. Oh, retreating from the top lane rather. He didn't end up getting tumbled there, and he's like, wait a second. Zeus has to have a little bit of damage to supply on top of the level 6. They immediately get the ultimate around Ori, pin him to a tree. He didn't even bother trying to use any spells because he doesn't have 6 himself. So he just ends up tumbling. It was like very easy kill for them to pick up. They might be able to get another one here. They end up losing the Zeus in the jungle to the Dazzle. Zetsi looking for some revenge, but he can't close the gap in time. So Dazzle will be allowed to escape that situation. Okay. All right, cool.
Interesting build from the support Zeus here as well. Normally, I actually see the Lightning Bolt max instead of the level 2 arc. But here we are. Probably wanted a little bit more out spam versus the Dazzle on the lane to make sure that they were not pressured back constantly.
Uh-oh, Summer's dead. Summer is super dead. Saw's mates. That's actually the worst time as well. He just had cracked 5 not too long beforehand. This is normally when as Terrorblade, you're comfortable leaving the lane, giving up some space to one of your supports to get closer to level 6, and you just occupy the full jungle. But Team Aster, they play enough Dota to know what's up. They're ready for that move. They already had an idea of what's happening, and now they've also dropped down some vision. So when that move happens again, they'll be ready to make the same maneuver once more to counter it.
Instead, the move comes to top. Mars Arena. Yeah, Monet's in.
Let's see, can they kill him though? He hasn't gotten himself a second point into this Bristleback pass, so probably believing that with the help on PQ, he doesn't need it. But now he might be regretting that decision. If he does get the Shallow Grave for himself, Monet though! The Quill Spray's level 3 in that fight, 4 as it all goes down. Will be earn himself a double kill, bringing down the Mars and the Zeus. And Beyond can't catch up to the Dazzle, even though he'd already gotten out the Unleash. Not going to be able to find a kill, and while this is happening, they know that there's nobody that can rotate and support him. We literally just spoke about this move. They kill him in the jungle, drop a ward, and they immediately come and kill him again. Everything going right now for Team Aster on this map.
I've missed this kind of China action, man. The fact that there will always be action on both sides of the map is something that I think is so hard to coordinate, but so powerful. Because if we don't have time to talk about it, the teams don't do either.
What? Beyond? Well, Beyond. He's just not allowed to play Dota. He shows up to the lane. They immediately say, go home, fam. Go back to the fountain. Go enjoy life that side. Honestly, it is starting to feel like...
Go touch some grass.
Exactly. Go touch grass. Don't come and touch our rocks. Kips, does it feel like this is a core Marcy?
No. No, it does not. My brain is having trouble adjusting. I looked at that Zeus getting killed in general, like, why is this Zeus losing to a Dazzle?
Oh, yeah. Well, tower's about to fall in the top lane as Monet is sieging it right now with this Bristleback. Doesn't easily tank up any of the damage. And of course, with PickU being here, not really afraid of anything else happening on the maps. There is going to be a bright spot though, as Ori yet again does die in this mid lane. This is the one combo they'll always have available. Arena into Zeus damage, always successful, especially since that was Zeus revealing a Veil of Discord. So okay, some signs of life still here from the side of Dandelion.
I was just in time to click the razor to see him switch out his Hand of Midas to a BKB in the quick buy. Because I was gonna say up until BKB, and then I checked in, and like, he could have fooled me that he was already going BKB, but he was a sliver of a second too late.
Alright, so the question is, do you think he changed it himself, or did somebody yell at him and say, dude, bye BKB mate?
Ooh, let's give him credit here. Like, we're learning in the match.
Alright. Fair enough.
But this does not work.
He's like, boys, my lane's going fine, I'll go Midas. And he dies. The first death he can be forgiven for. And the second one, they're like, mate, you'll buy Midas and in 20 minutes you'll still be dying from the exact same combo. Please, we need you alive and well. My goodness, PickU. This warding, honestly, from Team Aster as well and their map control has been pretty stellar this game. They've been very good at de-warding what Dandelion has brought up and making sure that they don't only just play around their vision, but they preemptively lay out their plans where their vision is going to be. Like in this top lane, they have a ward very far forward. Look where it is and look what it scouts. They know that Summer is alone right now, so they can chase him with this Brewmaster split. Tossed up into the air. There's no tier 1 tower for TPs to come into. He is a goner for sure, not even allowed to stand his ground. Just taken down by this Dazzle. Oh, that's another death for the Terrorblade. Third one in the first 10 minutes here.
Yep. And this is the other beautiful part, that since they win a fight off of that ward, like they know they can go in deeper, they still have a ward with them on this further deeper expedition.
Yeah, the expeditions are not done as they jump in with the Boca. They got off the Magnetized. Winter's Curse though will come in from SJ, but they'll buy him time with the Shallow Grave. Can they get him out? I think they can, as Monet forcing these heroes to just run away. Finally, Tian Ming throws in the Thunder God's Wrath. It will kill Baboka, but will anybody else also end up losing their lives? ZC does die in front of the Plasma Field of Ori, and they are still going. Monet looking for Beyond. They don't want to chase Beyond the tier 1 tower. Well, I say they, but it's everybody but Ori. He goes all the way in, gets the second kill, and sets them up to come right back and keep this push going, because look at this, there's a Siege Wagon right on the wave itself, so they guarantee a tier 1 tower on top of the fight win in the mid lane.
These timings are just brilliant, because I'm pretty sure that's not an accident either. And then Monet, he's got the Vanguard, going to see the point booster come up very soon, and because this Zeus is not a core, that means that most of the damage over on Dandelion is physical, and that means that, yeah, never mind, you don't actually have to wait until the full BKB. Maybe that was warranted by the Mars if the Zeus is also a core, but with that switch around, no, not anymore. He can just run at them as he's demonstrating right now, and all of that means that actually XXS is the closest to an Aghanim Scepter of his own.
Wow. 1,300 gold from him having a full axe. We see Monet going to get axe too, and unfortunately, Summer not having the easiest game for himself. His net worth is not too terrible, but being 1,000 gold practically behind this Bristleback, not only does it mean that it delays his usual progression of items, but this is one of these games where at some point you definitely wanted a Silver Edge. There's a lack of breaks on anybody else. You need some way to get past the Bristleback. And now he's going to be so delayed in that because he still needs BKB, still needs Scotty, a long way away from having the item that'll actually threaten Monet on this map. Baboka as well. I love that he's going for this early Spirit Vessel. We've seen the impact and the power this item can have against Winter Wyvern lineups in the past. And in this game, it's going to be phenomenal because that's the only real form of reliable sustain they have available to themselves. And it's not really going to be an option. I mean, Sidekick is also there from Beyond because this is a core Marcy. And Spirit Vessel will have an impact on that as well. There's pretty much nothing I'm seeing coming out of Team Aster that doesn't directly address what Dandelion is trying to do. And yet Dandelion still have 2-3 items to go before they can meaningfully start responding to what Team Aster is trying to accomplish on the map.
Things where, sure, you'll do better once the items come in and you have the winning core matchup eventually, but those items need to happen first. And we're not just talking about items on the Terrorblade right now, but also like this Marcy. She had a Blink Dagger in her quick buy, which would have been the ultimate poverty. She's going for the BKB now, bought the Ogre Axe, but that is so far off and she just doesn't get to farm anywhere. They're letting her take this top tower right now only because they're cutting into the triangle to try and find Summer. Unsuccessful, but that should be new vision established as well.
He's actually gonna die. Baboka is right here, comes in. Oh no, the rebound ends up going in the completely wrong direction. Well, Beyond does the right thing, at least comes through to finish off the tower, give the team some bonus gold, but will nonetheless end up getting brought down in the top lane. The immediate response after they take the kill in the triangle. SJ did his best to try and tank the gank, but unfortunately these heroes from Aster are also extremely mobile. And absent having that Blink Dagger or BKB, Marcy actually can't do anything. Like literally can't do anything on this map. She just goes for it and dies. And Team Aster are so confident they just walk into the Roshan pit. And they're like, well, what can you do, Dandelion? And the answer is, truthfully, not much.
Like, you need to be able to drop a Winter's Curse in there. And that's it. Like, Monet, full stacks, you know, 300 damage a pop, kills his own Dazzle, something like that. Maybe you get to play, but they are nowhere near. And this positional play from Aster, like, the curve through that top lane, the first expedition into the triangle to kick them out, and then the curve from the other side that we've seen. Now, can I draw them up? No, I can't. Every time, man. Just means that they've shoved Dandelion over to the right-hand side where there's still a tower up instead of the place where there's no tower, so there would be a little bit more space, right? So Summer doesn't actually feel safe here, even though he's the furthest away from Aster that he could be. He can still TP in at any moment's notice.
Well, XXX is the only person that will find himself suffering now. He does die. It seemed like they had to commit everything for him, though. So Thunder God's Wrath was dropped. There was Beyond being nearby. Mars dropped the ultimate as well. Pretty much, I mean, it's necessary at this stage of the game. You not only get this big kill, but you at least slow down this Aghanim Scepter at least a little bit. He's still pretty much going to have it by the time he respawns for the next fight. So you'll be dealing with double Axes on Bristleback and Brewmaster. And you'll have the full BKB as it is complete from Ori. Full 9 seconds. His team is very much happy about this. They don't have to worry about him dying randomly. And now he can reveal it onto ZC. What a time to be alive to find this target. Winter's Curse will be there, but they don't connect onto XXX, so it can go into the split. They're locking down ZC. Ori's gonna make sure they get that kill. And now SJ is inside Cold Embrace. But the Embrace of the Cold will last a little bit longer because he's now cold in the grave. A double kill for the Razor. And they're not done. XXX, they get the toss-up onto Beyond. Ori has a double damage rune, so this could make such a huge difference. Here comes Baboka. They get out this debuff with the Urn of Shadows. He is certainly gonna die here. Oh, really nice rebound. Beyond showing off some fancy footwork here, able to get away behind the tier 1 tower.
That was way too close. And you know what? Monet was on the bottom tower in the meantime. And this is why, and I keep hammering on this, I want you guys to listen to this next time as well. The next time that, you know, analysts talk about towers as only defensive assets, they are wrong. Capital W. The reason that they can fight so fast is because there's a mid tower up for Aster. They can TP the Brewmaster in and get contact with the enemy immediately after respawn. And as long as that mid tower stays up, that advantage stays up, and Dandelion will stay under the fastest possible pressure. It is imperative for them that they get that mid tower down if they want to take this pressure off of them. Because they can't 5-man fight this anymore. The Bristle has hit his timing. Monet is absolutely huge. The only thing they can hope for now is that they mess up somehow, over-focus on an objective elsewhere, and you get to sneak damage in on the mid lane, but I sincerely doubt it.
See what they're going to try and accomplish that right now for themselves. Here is Team Aster though, sieging the tier 2. Easy pickup. The question is, do they want to utilize these last 2 minutes of the Aegis by trying to go up the hill? They know that they can, but the question
Yes.
is, do they? I think they maybe
Do
just
they
finish
feel
it out.
like it?
Yeah, because there's no rush for them, right? They know that Summer only
No.
becomes a real hero so much further down the line that right now they don't necessarily have to do anything drastic. Just keep controlling the pace of the game.
Yeah, Summer has a full point booster and a full ultimate orb to go. Which is a yikes. He's not gonna make it to 21 minutes, Scotty, I don't think.
Needs to make magic happen. On the bright side, he's trying to send some illusions to push out this top wave. So, just trying to at least make sure that they're not losing out on equilibrium on all sides of the map. But unfortunately, it does mean that he is at that sort of whack-a-mole stage as Terrorblade, where you have to just go in and out. And now middle lane, ZC gets off an arena. They want to try and find this Dazzle, and they will be able to do so. XXX, though, gets the ultimate out. They want to try and get some revenge for their fallen comrade. They will interrupt the ZC TP attempt out because Baboka is there with the rolling boulder. ZC is dead for sure. At the same time, the fight's not done because Tianming, tossed up by XXX, brought down by the damage of Monet and XXX. Well, they did get Dazzle, been a massive thorn in their side, and it must have felt very satisfying to kill him, I will admit. But still, massive cost, definitely not worth it.
Absolutely, especially because the Zeus is a big part of your wave clear here on the top lane, a big part of your damage into a sieging Bristleback. And this is a Bristleback, by the way, who's not going BKB, so he does need to rely on a bunch of sustain from his teammates, and especially this Dazzle, in order to get to siege. Because otherwise you get spammed out here. The percentage-based damage from the Winter Wyvern plus the percentage-based damage from the Zeus means Bristle no likey. He can't actually go high ground here, which is a bit of a pickle, actually. Like, the more I think about it, I think I would have actually preferred him to go into Shroud over the Lotus Orb that he's working on right now. The Lotus Orb is also very important because he, you know, you need to work first the curse here, and the armor is very good for you, but...
Oh my gosh, XXX is so good at Dota. Forces Beyond into using this opening BKB. ZC not as lucky, so hasn't finished their own BKB. And they have a shard now on the Dazzle, so that'll hex up the Mars. No progress for him. At the same time, they find SJ on the far end and will fight Baboka with the double kill. Baboka at XXX. What a story
Good
duo.
chemistry.
It's just perfect, honestly.
Like, you just want to sort of, you wonder if you like stand in their presence, like physically, if there's like sort of a soft glow just from the power, like radiating between those two, like a Tesla coil, you know?
It would not surprise me at all. Baboka going forward, they almost got the grab onto Tianming. They won't be able to grab him just yet. It will require a salvation from the Dazzle. Yeah, but Whistle's actually falling very low, and he's out of the Aegis. Doesn't have the Aegis anymore. He needs to run. Yet Summer comes into the fight, but comes in a little bit too late. This is tragic, Hibbs. This is probably the closest you're going to get in this game to bringing them down on the Bristleback. And the opportunity gets squandered because they don't have the entire complement available. I would be shocked and amazed if Baboka did not queue up a Shroud or a BKB after what just happened now, though.
Yeah, I mean, this was choice though. Like, the reason they're diving in is because they see this scenario happening. They know they actually need to get the Zeus before they can siege with this Bristleback. The percentage damage is just too much.
Yeah.
So, and they back off just in time. Like, and the control is missing from Dandelion. It's very touch and go. I am tempted to credit Monet for it instead of like saying, "Oh, poor Dandelion, you just couldn't make it." No, I think that was calculated. And it's just like, you just have to watch him be better than you and walk away.
I'm better than you and deal with it. If you ask him, if you think you're cool, he's gonna say, yes, I'm the coolest.
Yes. Now, watch these spiky cheeks as they walk out of your base.
Oh. You know what, speaking of things walking out of the base, some very important items coming out of the Team Aster base. Blink Dagger going in for the Brewmaster and a refresher for Ori. This is huge.
Oh, yeah.
We saw in the last series the impact that can be had in the game when this Razor doesn't get the early BKB refresher. It doesn't have a major power spike, but he's gotten this now at this 22-minute mark, and he's going for a blink of his own as well. Suddenly, he's going to be, even with the Bristleback involved, this will be the most dangerous hero on the map.
Yeah. want to point out here that we are doing a direct comparison with a game of the other Ares Aster team, sorry, excuse me, not the other Ares team, who had the exact same course except with an Elk instead of a bristleback. So still a tanky minus armor hero, but one with a lot later of a power spike, actually. And I think it's the speed that has made all the difference. And now, because you have this battering ram of a bristle, you don't have to buy all these defensive items on your Razor.
It's not necessary for him to do. Winter's Curse thrown out. This is huge because that's one of the big mechanisms for fighting. Baboka, though, went way too far forward, gets himself caught inside of the arena. ZC will very happily claim his life off the back of that one. All right. You know, Baboka is human as well. Having a bit too much fun. Excitable. He's enjoying life.
Certainly excitable. And there's a possibility that play is worth it if the rest of his team gets to follow through on him and gets to like catch the Mars immediately after the arena is down, for example. There is a possibility that happens, and if he dies then, you know, Mars is dead with BKB down and you've got your team on the slopes of the enemy high ground again. It's completely fine. So it's also the kind of play that shows what kind of attitude his team has right now. He's ignoring the kills that are in front of him and going for the next layer already because he's counting on the snowball to keep rolling.
90 seconds before the big man is up again, so DEC, if they have any hope of winning this game and still maintaining a hold in the upper bracket, it's necessary that they prevent Aster from getting the EG Aegis. Of course, Aster...
And there is a Scotty.
Oh, does he have it? Okay, sweet, he's got it. Sweet.
Yeah.
Awesome.
He's at it for a bit, actually. We have just been so occupied with Monet, like, especially when you're casting Dire coming at the Radiant, right? It feels like they're running at you. They're running forward into you. But that's been exactly. But Summer's got the condition. He's actually going to be able to finish up a Manta Style now as well. Had a BKB queued for a little bit. Could have disassembled Dragonlance for it, but he will have Manta Skadi plus a Falcon Blade by the time that this Roshan falls and the new Aster Assault comes. And he'll actually join now.
I love how you take it for granted that Aster will get the Aegis and bring the Assault. Like, super hard with that line. Like, fighting around the pit. It's weird though, right? Because normally when you see like Mars, Winter Wyvern, you think to yourself, we have supremacy around this Roshan pit. But certainly not been the case in this particular game. They just don't have the tools necessary to force heroes to fight around these situations and then just take the damage heads up. Between the BKB on Ori, the Aghanim Scepter on the Brewmaster, and now a BKB on Monet as well. Just doesn't feel like all of their tools will be worth a lick around this Roshan pit. They need to force the opponent to make mistakes coming up the high ground, but a mistake might come because ZC is overextended. ZC is so dead. So dead. Has a BKB. Oh, they're actually gonna leave him. Wait, he doesn't want to commit the Eye of the Storm on him. Okay.
It would have been a long chase, and quite possibly also, if he has a buyback, right, and he does not spend his ult at that point, you'd rather find somebody else.
Get the easy kill, which is the Winter Wyvern. And that's also the big man up. Yep. Arcane Rune, are you kidding me? For Ori? That's nice. It's a little bit unfortunate that he only picks it up after using the Eye of the Storm, but it's fine. He will still go into the Roshan pit. Without the Winter Wyvern, they have no hope of taking this fight. Even when he does come alive, it feels like a very foolhardy mission to smoke out of the base right now. They need to finish some of these items on Summer. And he did get the Manta and the Skadi, so we'll have both available like you mentioned. And you need to be prepared because the fight is coming very, very soon. Monet has Aegis, he's about to hit level 20. Lotus Orb, BKB, Aghanim Scepter. This is the proverbial go time. And Aster probably gonna try and hit this time.
Well, and they're actually leaving the shard in the pit. I think XXS should pick that up, probably. But
Listen,
they completely forgot about it.
We don't want to make the game too easy, you know?
Ah, true. The ground vision for the Stone Remnants could also not be bad if they're looking for intro kills on these two supports. Like,
also, they're playing with Illusion and Terrorblade, so weirdly enough, the Storm Surge on Razor can actually be pretty valuable in this game.
yeah, you're not wrong. So, any of the people, oh, look at that rainbow of TPs.
Yeah,
they think they got him.
Stammer. And they do. He doesn't have BKB.
They do got him.
Yep, he's dead. 100% dead. And unlike what we saw in the top lane for ZC, where he could pop BKB to get out of this, no such options exist for our Summer Terrorblade. But look at Ori though, all business. even though he knows that there's literally no chance of him getting stunned by the Terrorblade, he still pops BKB because he's like, I don't know exactly where everyone is, so just in case,
Yeah.
let's make sure I get this kill.
Yeah, because if they come in and the TB gets a Sunder off at the worst possible moment or the best possible moment for Dandelion, and then the turnaround comes in, you are screwed. Yeah. Look at this map positioning. Razor's bringing in bot lane, just Dazzle and Bristle are just running at this top lane as if their entire team is behind, while there's no physical possibility of them actually being there. And Dandelion, no, they just don't have the damage to deal with it, so they just let them. Look at how boxed in this is.
Yep. A lot of folk watching at home are going to be looking at this and saying, how on earth does Team Aster manage to play all the map at once? Not just the 3 lanes, but they're occupying the jungles, both triangles, the Roshan pit. This is extremely high level Dota from them. They just understand exactly what their heroes need to do, where they need to be. But the most important thing is team cohesion. If you can't communicate effectively for these kind of moves, it can look sloppy and terrible. We've seen so many squads in the past try to pull off a similar style of play, and it doesn't work out for them because they lack the communication to make it work. Certainly not the case today for Team Aster. They are on point, and it's looking like this is going to be a 2-0 unless Dandelion does something really magnificent off the back of the Summer Terrorblade.
Yeah, it's gotta be the TB. It's gotta be a Winter Wyvern curse, like a brilliant curse in some way when this Bristle is running around with 500 damage on and he can... the real problem is that you can have him club one teammate to death, like, because you only have one curse. Is that enough at this point? Because his team is surely not going to take him down.
Alright, we're seeing it. What has often been termed the desperation smoke. Dandelion trying to make something happen, but XXX, he comes in, interrupts their smoke, and actually engages a fight for his own team. They know they have to run. They got off the Winter's curse, but it's not going to be enough. Without the curse, there's no defense for SJ anymore. ZC will try to drop the arena, but Monet just goes in with a BKB. They're going to run the Mars down. He's hexed it up right now by the Dazzle shot, and there's no way he can survive this one. SJ does buy back, and there is a buyback available for the Mars too. But without Arena, the question is, what value is his buyback into this fight anyway?
Yeah, like, I think that the Winter Wyvern here shows that he didn't quite understand how crucial his ult was. Because with the ult spent, it doesn't matter if he buys back or not.
Yep. Who cares? Buys back. Okay, here we go. They might be able to kill Ori. Comes very low, but there's going to be the Dazzle saving him with the Shadow Grave. XXX in again with another Brewmaster split. They get the spear onto this Bristleback from ZC. Ori refreshes, comes back into the fight. ZC now is pretty much done with the BKB and the hexes and the damage from Monet coming in. Summer's on the high ground, trying to fight 1v2 with Monet and Ori, but they will certainly win that one out. There will be a Zeus buyback into some damage that brings down Ori, but at what cost? Beyond's about to fall as well. It's a triple kill for Monet. They might not have the Dazzle as backup, but this Bristleback is still the strongest hero in this fight. XXX helps to bring down this Rax. They should be able to get the range one as well. And do they even leave? I'm not 100% sure. Monet still has the Aegis for another 25 seconds, so he wants to die and get back everything. And they might be able to get their lives as well. There's the Winter's Curse. It connects onto the Earth Spirit. Baboka gonna get right-click down. All right, it's a good start. Buyback from the Marcy. XXX can't get off the ultimate just yet. It's still on cooldown for a little bit longer. So they are able to bring down that move. Monet isolated, but he has BKB. And in fact, he has BKB Abyssal. Do not chase him. Let him go. Don't. No. It's a trap. Beyond. It's a trap. There's the Abyssal. There's some of the damage coming in. Cold Embrace will buy some time. And Monet will very graciously allow him to live by leaving the base. It's still in shambles though, as they've taken this first lane of Rax and set themselves up for massive success on the side of Team Aster.
Yeah, and what a scrap there. Like, you can see the power of the TB in the matchup versus all of these melees, versus a Bristleback who will not have a BKB by the time the Sunder comes up, right? But that said, like, when push comes to shove, they're just too far behind on Dandelion right now. And I do think they spent most of their buyback power in those last two engagements as well. Yeah, that's...
Yep.
No money or no time.
Feels bad. All the tools, all the lifelines were expended. Now they know that if they were to lose another fight like that, it's awful. But There's some signs of hope though, right? They got to kill onto XXX, so I don't think Aster's gonna want to fight until they have the refresher on the Panda. So before then, this like what? Maybe 45 seconds? It's a window. It leaves Dandelion with some time to farm and get somewhere closer to a fighting point. And he's finally at the point where he feels confident enough to build the Silver Edge. We spoke a long time ago about how important this item would be. If he can get there, suddenly the game doesn't seem as bad. It does seem viable for him to be able to turn on the damage and win if they can get the correct initiation.
Yep, and the even better for him is that the correct initiation will most likely be provided by Aster anyways, because you still have these two damage-dealing supports on the backlines that you can see, especially Baboka, go in for time and time again, but the same goes for the Brewmaster. And now your AoE physical damage is building up, and AoE slow is building up from the Skadi, with all of the illusions that you're going to be bringing to bear, as we watch this Mars build from the top lane. Aster, if they want to win this, will still be forced to go in one more time because they didn't finish the job last time. So, especially if they wait for the next Roshan, where they will get the bonus shard. By the way, this bothers me.
This bothers me.
You think they could have won if they got like the Storm Surge upgrade?
I mean, there was a point where you were surrounded by 3 TV illusions, 2 Manta illusions. It might have made a small difference. Who knows?
Yeah, I kind of... You never know. It's one of those questions that you're never going to get a satisfying answer to, but it might just have made a difference if any of the 3 upgrades that were still available might have.
There was some game
I'm saying 3 as if the Bristle already has a hairball. He doesn't.
No, he does not.
I thought he did.
Monet's not going to waste money on an Aghanim shot.
Oh!
Okay, they got dazzled, but the question is, can Beyond get out of this? You can't necessarily rely on your BKB TP out because Monet is here with the Abyssal Blade, and Monet will try to throw in the damage. Very smart from Beyond. That was very heads-up play. Unfortunately, not tanky enough to make it out, but you know, if he made it out, that would have been certainly a highlight reel-worthy play, even if it didn't succeed.
Mm-hmm. You gotta take the shot every single time. Level 25 is coming up for this Bristle, though. I kind of feel like they should be playing with that as opposed to waiting for another Roche. I do think that another Roche will be too late, but 25 Warpath damage per stack, that might just do the trick.
Yeah. Between that and the next Aegis, who's 2 minutes away. Woo! That is lucky for Dandelion Esports Club. Let's see, how far away is Summer from having this young Silver Edge? Not too far away. He can probably buy it before the next Aegis fight happens, but it will cost him buyback. And he'll have to forego any kind of way of having the double life. Is it a risk worth taking? Are we at that point where it's so far gone that if he has to buy back, the fight's already over? Yeah,
you're a TB. You're a TB without Demon Zeal especially, or without Axe for that matter. Like, your buyback is worth jack. And being a melee hero up versus a Bristleback, we know how that ends, so... You should endeavor to never be a melee hero.
It'll be fine. He can press E and then he's not a melee hero anymore. It's all okay. Everything's fine.
I'm presuming here that he died before that he pressed it before the buyback, right?
Oh, he's gonna buy Refresher, and then he'll keep that in the backpack. He'll come back with it. There we go. Only like what, 10,000 gold away before we have that play, right around the corner.
Yeah. And then he can buy out. So first he gets buyback, then he gets money for Refresher on top of the money for the buy.
Yes, yeah.
Because you see, if you have the Refresher but not the buyback, it's worthless.
Yeah, you actually need both. Otherwise, so you need to either invest 10,000 gold heads up or nothing, or just like buy other items.
Oh, like Jungle Coin better be going to the moon, or otherwise he's not gonna get there.
Summer's out here being like, I wish I bought when it was cheap. Priced out the market now. Should have bought the dip, boys. Alright, they finally found the shard. Who did they give it to? Let's see. Who did they give it to? Brewmaster,
I believe. Yeah.
With the Astral Spirit, or the Astral Ruling, as it were. This is, you know, after having seen these Brewmasters today, XXX has not had a bad game by any stretch of the imagination, right? He's played really, really well. He's 3-2 and 16, involved in so many kills, created so much chaos. He's used his body and put it on the line to break smokes and teamfight initiations before. But I must say, this Brewmaster's a disappointment. compared to what we've seen from these Chinese brews. What the hell is this, XXX? You can do better, my friend.
Yeah, like I find Brewmaster, as I've seen him today, just not very convincing. And maybe it's because I haven't seen many Brewmasters recently, but it seems like the AoE control aspect especially is lacking very much in comparison to the Winter Wyverns and the Enigmas and the Warlocks that we're seeing in this patch. Oh, it is fast cross-map smoke.
Try and catch Beyond. Dazzle is the one that's putting his life on the line here. Beyond, you can caught, my friend. Oh, nice blink. Can you TP in time? Woo!
Yeah.
Just in time. And the Terror Blade gets out as well. Okay, good read coming in from Dandelion. And you're not that accomplished. It gave Summer the full Silver Edge. It is now online. He has some kind of way to actually break Bristleback. So the next fight that they have from Team Aster, you were mentioning it earlier, they didn't finish the job the first push. One lane of Rax is actually not that deep at this stage of the game. So provided they can try to hold the ground for the second one, they could actually kill this Bristleback not just once but twice, even through the second life plus BKB.
Yeah. Now the only question marks that I have here are on the supports for Dandelion. I'm saying supports as if Zeus isn't their second in net worth right now, by the way. But they have 0 defensive items. Like the Winter Wyvern is leaning on a Shadow Amulet, so half a defensive item. Zeus has a Refresher.
Smoked
if
up
you can get him.
Jump in from Dandelion. They want this fight, and using the Zeus ultimate, they almost burst down XXX, but he does get out the ultimate aura. Also very low on HP, getting saved with the Shallow Grave, and the heals coming in. They can't kill him. They're out of BKBs. Now they have to start running away. Beyond finds himself being able to at least rebound back into the base. But that was everything. There was Arena, Thunder Gods, both of them, both Nimbuses, a BKB unleashed from the Marcy. The only thing that they didn't commit was the BKB from the Terror Blade, but he also used the meta, so now it's not going to be up for the upcoming fight.
Yeah, you just stand here, like you mop up the mid wave and you immediately go back. This is brilliant if you're Aster, and they didn't even get to raise. Like I was saying cheese because I see it on him, but he has the cheese in his backpack. He couldn't even cheese there. That was all reliant on the Dazzle.
Given how well Picu's been playing this Dazzle today, you know, I think it's a pretty safe bet to rely on him for all your salvation needs. You know, who needs Jesus when you've got Dazzle?
True
Jump in, middle lane. Oh, the Aegis might get ticked out here. That's the first life. All right, let's see what they've got. They have Silver Edge now online again. Bristleback, he's up. Bristleback's been broken, but Bristleback has been Shallow Grave now as well. Can they get him out of the fight though? Winter's Curse holds him in position. They do kill Beyond, but he's just trying to make space and time. Monet somehow still alive though. Less than 300 HP and he's gonna walk away. And now Ori's in on the fight with the double Eye of the Storm. His BKB has protected him. And now they've managed to kill the Terror Blade. Cold Embrace try to keep him alive for a little while longer, but it ends up not being important because there's just too much magic damage from Team Aster. They've taken the second lane of Rax. They've taken SJ's second life. Now the question is, will they be able to mop up the entirety of the base? Summer does have buyback.
I think so.
But we spoke about it just now, kids. Terror Blade with buyback, without meta, without BKB, literally useless. It'll be up in 10 seconds though, practically, so he might have one final hurrah before this game ends.
You can try, maybe somebody can buy a force sap, get some people into the fountain, but this is such a no,
Summer, no, Summer, not like this. Not like this, but it's exactly like this.
Child.
He walks out the base, he thinks he can fight, he can tussle with the big boys, but Team Aster, they remind him and they remind all of us that they are the big brother team here in the Malaysia qualifiers. They dominate in a 2-0 sweep over Dandelion. GG, well played.